Hello people, it's your boss man back again with another video. The transfer deadline special is among us, and I'm not going to lie, when I was thinking this out, I was thinking, yo, we might get Sancho the last day. Well, we ain't even getting Dembele, let alone Sancho. I said Sanchez, didn't I? But it is what it is. Listen, I'm just going to start the video by saying this. Allow Sanchez, we don't want Sanchez. We're going to start the video by saying this. Manchester United, right, finished third last season. The mantra, the sort of thought process from us fans in particular was, okay, he's finished third. Okay, now we need to try and close the gap on the top two. So the board had about 7 months to do this. They had 7 months to prepare. What have they done? Not only have they not given any of his players that he's asked for and signed Cavani and given him number 7, what is that about? But they've only spent 50 million, which also spent more than in one day. Literally, this one signing of Partey is more than our whole summer budget. So, we've not bought Sancho, which is fair enough. I understand there's complications and all that stuff. But obviously, regarding the other matters, so we've not spent the Sancho money. Where's that money gone to? So, for me personally, I'm interested to hear what you got to say. We'll start with you, mate. What are your thoughts? First and foremost, obviously, as I've mentioned, we've spent only 50 million. Do you think that was part of the plan, or do you think it's gone, downhill, so to speak?
I don't think there's a plan. Simple as that. What plan? If you know it, let me know, mate. Because I've not seen anything. It's just been so poor. Like we've not. I don't know. We just can't. It's like we can't compete in the transfer window anymore. We can't. We don't have no pulling power. Benji's loving this. We don't have anything. I mean, the board has let us down totally. The Sancho money, where the hell is that going to go to? Back to the Glazers' pockets, obviously, in it. And they'll probably take loans out. Well, God knows what they do with it, and just buy another mansion or something. But it's just terrible, man. I'm kind of lost for words. I feel kind of sad for the fans. Actually, I think it's people pay loads of money for tops and merchandise and tickets, and they travel across the world. You get people from America traveling to UK to go to Old Trafford, and I mean all sorts of things. People pay so much money for this club. Where the hell is it, man? It's just. I mean, Patrice Evra summed it up the best, and I'm not going to go into that, but that was just brilliant from him. A rating for that. Yeah. I mean, like you said, the Sancho, say 90 million, whatever they bid on it. That money, if you can't get him, that money is there. Then that has to be put into maybe 2 or 3 other transfers. You get Saar for, I don't know, 30 million, 30 plus million. Drop a bid in for Partey, man, 50 million. Flipping throw in there. Let's see if Arsenal can deal with that. And there you go. You never know. You might say, yeah. And obviously, tell us what they were messing about with 3 million. They got ended up for 15. They didn't want to pay 18, or was it 20 or something they were saying? That's a joke. That is absolutely atrocious, man. There's no excuse for that. Woodward needs to get lost before anything. But they won't get rid of him, innit? And they won't get rid of Ollie as well. And I was saying about, I don't want to go into Ollie. That's a totally different subject. But I'm a big Ollie in person as well. So for me to say that, they need to if they're going to get rid of him now and bring someone in. Because like I said about international break, this is the perfect time. If you're not going to back the guy, because they clearly haven't, then you might as well get rid of him. Don't take the piss out of the guy, man. He's a decent person. He's a legend of the club. You shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess. No one knows anything really, apart from Rob. Rob knows everything. But I'm shocked, and I'm kind of sad for the fans, man. I feel like I don't really care about these signings that are coming now. I'm not really bothered by Cavani, Tellers even. I'm not really bothered. I wanted Sancho, really. I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah, no, regarding the comment, regarding the fans, at the end of the day, the fans are the only sort of constant with the club. The manager's going to come and go, the players are going to come and go. Well, sadly, the board won't come and go because these mans won't leave. But everybody else, look, the fans are the constant. At the end of the day, the fans are the ones that get taken. We're the ones that get mugged off really at the end of the day. We were promised Sancho, or we were at least told, we were sold a dream on Sancho. Nevertheless, there was reports way back in June and July from loads of journalists that Sancho is close. It was literally a matter of us paying the money. Again, as I've already said, I understand it's a big fee, and I accept that. But why is it taking you 4 months to eventually go for Dembele? Why are you leaving it to the last day? If you think Sancho is not worth the money, that's fine. You're entitled to that opinion. But get Dembele or get somebody else. There were people available to get. Like, for me personally, it's been an absolute shit show from the start. But Daniel, I'll pass it to you, bro. Obviously, I know you're a very passionate fan. What is your thoughts on the whole situation before obviously we go into individual signings?
I'm fuming. I'll be real. Before this window started, I'll be honest. I thought, yeah, Sancho will be the one where he'll be the one we eventually get, and anyone pretty much on top of that is pretty much a bonus. And the way it's just dragged and dragged and dragged, interested FC, monitoring FC, in like it's just been so frustrating. I even thought, even if we don't get Sancho, we might even get Sarr as a backup, just in case.
Yeah.
It might be underwhelming, but at least it's something. Dembele, I saw Dembele, and at that time I thought, okay, it's not who we wanted, but you know what, a right winger at this point, I don't want to see Daniel James on that right hand side. So at this point, I'll take it, and we don't even look like we're going to get that done. Obviously, we'll get into the individual signings later, but at this point, I'm just fuming because, like I said, I've previously tweeted it. The Van der Beek one, Van der Sar pretty much got that done. Not this United board. Tellez cost 50 million. That's the same as Daniel James. Why did it be quick to get done, but this one took so long? I don't know. Flipping at Traore's for the future. That's not for now. Like, our centre backs leaking goals all day, and we can't even get a centre back. We can't even get a DM. Arsenal are getting Party. Like, he would be perfect for us. Physical, tall, presence, can pass the ball. It's been frustrating, man. And at this point, obviously, I'm not going to say it's over. I'm not going to say it's done. There's still time. But right now, I think it's done, man. I'm fuming. I'll be real.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I don't think any United fan's going to be, sat watching this unfold and think anything less off in terms of, frustration, really, more than anything. As I mentioned, the first line I said was, we wanted to go again. We want to potentially be in the conversation for the title. If anything, we've gone completely other direction for me personally. Rob, what are your thoughts? We've got a comment here saying, panic buy with a 27-year-old left back and an injury-prone 33-year-old practically in the last 2 days of the transfer window. What's your thoughts on the whole situation with the strategy, etc.?
Well, the strategy sucks, first and foremost, and we knew the strategy sucked 6 months ago. So what I find surprising in these situations, especially when we get to transfer deadline day and for my work and stuff that we do either directly with United or with other third parties, is that fans are surprised by all of this. That surprises me. I've been a Man United fan my whole life, and I think you should all know what the Glazers are by now. Do you not? Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so
I'm more disappointed.
Yeah, what I would say is this: you're not going to get any magic out of these owners, and you never will, and you never should expect it. So when you have a good transfer window or a bad transfer window, it's all relative at the end of the day. It's how it works out on the football pitch. The way I look at it is this: if you want Sancho and you don't get Sancho, then that is obviously a failure. But there's other things going on at the football club that need addressing. Now, I don't want to sound like any kind of Glazer sympathiser or anything like that, but this counts for the whole of football, and that is every football club has problem with its finances at the moment. That doesn't mean that he doesn't stop Arsenal going party for 45 million on the last day. Doesn't stop Chelsea going actually spending money weeks in advance. But I think you need to look at Manchester United and how they're structured, and they were always looking for COVID discounts in this window, and that's why it's gone so late into the day, and that's why you're picking up people like Cavani, who has no transfer fee, and maybe some kids in terms of what's his name again? Sorry, Palestri. I couldn't pronounce it then.
Yeah, I was about to say
Traore as well. Yeah, they're left field. Do you remember I said on your show last week? I said another one's that United are looking at left field signings that fans will go, who? Now, those who signings might develop into stars in the end in 2 or 3 years' time, but they're certainly not going to take United anywhere today or this week or in the next games. I believe Palestri is going to be fast-tracked into the first team. This is what we're hearing today. So he could be a kind of wild card for United. But overall, I think this transfer window's kind of turned out exactly how I thought it might, and that United did say that they weren't going to go shopping until very late in the day. We didn't really expect it to be on deadline day, but there's always that risk if you're waiting until the last week or two. They were trying to push Dortmund all the way to get the price down. It didn't work. We thought it might not work because it was a tricky kind of strategy in the first place. And we are where we are, and some clubs are in better conditions after the window. We've seen this with maybe Villa Everton, other teams that have done really good, strong business. And United, I would say, are about on par. The problem is that we've seen in the last few weeks that United desperately need a centre-back, and that's not been addressed. So this is kind of where I think the definition of the window is, of where Manchester United stand today.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of what you said in terms of, obviously, first comment you said was, why are you guys surprised? And to be honest with you, I'll be honest, I did think that, I thought they'd do something at least. I thought Sancho would happen. I think that's what I'm disappointed about the most. I'm not sure what the rest of the lads think, but I did think Sancho would happen. Obviously, I'm an idiot. I've been mugged off as every United fan thought it was going to happen. Has been. But, Coach, just regarding, the strategy in general, it's quite evident that we're making stuff up as we go along in terms of getting Cavani. Literally, last 2 days, he's been available for, 4 months? Because he's a free. Dembele's been available for the longest time. We've only gone in from last day when Dortmund have said since day one. Obviously, the situation. And obviously, tell us, again, another person we could have got a long time ago. Why wait so long? Rob said we're shopping late, but what was the need of shopping so late? We could have got it done ages ago.
Well, Cavani's been available technically since January. So it's just jarring that he's he's coming now. But you know what it is? I always tend to get onto teams for not having a plan B. And it's one of them ones where I'm like, yes, if you are approaching one team for one certain player, yes, that is your main target. But what about making it clear that you also have interest in the other player so that eventually, if you can't get a deal done, like you didn't get it regular on, you can start straight to Telles and get that done quicker. That's just my way of thinking about things. And to sum it up, I mean, Rob said it was what that you used for the strategy. What was it? Shocking, rubbish, something like that.
It's just the Glazers. That's their strategy. They've always been like this. So nothing's changed.
And this is facts. This is absolute facts. You can go back to the days where we sold Ronaldo for 80 million. His number 7 went to Michael Owen. And everyone remembers the farce of the 2013 transfer window when we ended up with Mara Fellaini and no Kroos, no Bale, no Fabregas, no this guy, no that guy.
Oh my God, that was ridiculous.
Exactly. So, if that's why when he says you can't be surprised, and I agree, you cannot be surprised whatsoever, because this, to quote Jose Mourinho's words, despite the fact that he smacked us, that is football heritage, the heritage of the Glazers. That is what they do. So, all this is a collection of being covered by us having such a great manager that was able to win things despite him being kind of held back in the power of Man United being able to go out there and really dominate in windows. He still found his gems and he did his thing. No questions asked there. But after that, it's just been a calamity, and there's not been any structure as to, if you lose Alex Ferguson, what's the next manager going to be? For what reason? That's the first thing. And then when you sign players, are they going to fit into your philosophy? You brought 4 different managers with 4 different philosophies. This is football heritage. So now you're here now. You're signing Cavani. I like Cavani. I'm happy Cavani's here. But I agree. Where the hell did this Cavani deal come from? I like Telles. I'm happy with Telles coming.
Again, I'm happy with the deals I brought in.
Where did Telles come from? And Facundo Pellistri, the thing is, if he's being fast-tracked, cool. But the way the fan base is feeling right now and where the club is right now, if he doesn't start off with a bang, they're going to get onto his neck also. And then Amad Traore is coming in January and the fee's about £30 million. And the first thing that's going to be is, what's he going to do? They're 18 years old. There is no strategy. There's no plan. So that, for the third and final time, make it a hat-trick. That is football heritage.
Right. Okay. Listen, if in terms of the expectations on individual players, it's going to be massive, isn't it? I do think the Telles signing is a bit more important because of his age. He's got a bit of experience under his belt. We have been signing too many young players for me. We need a bit more balance. We saw with the Spurs defeat, one of the things that I said, and me and Rob have already had a discussion on Twitter about this, the lack of leadership is an absolute joke. Obviously, that's something that Cavani hopefully does bring to the team, or some form of experience and some form of pedigree. But Jem, just to final chat on the board, as someone that has defended the board on numerous occasions to me, what are your thoughts, bro? What are your thoughts regarding strategy? If any blame is on the board, who does it lie with? This is your opportunity to lay out your thoughts On air, not on
How long you
WhatsApp.
got me?
Over to you, Jam, but you say
You see, like Rob said, me, I'm not really surprised how our transfer went. And like I always say, I don't have much expectation because I know how our people run their transfer dealings and stuff. And like Robbie said, they are trying to, like I said in the group some time ago, United are trying to do the wrongs they've done for years. You can't use just one transfer window to correct it. Now you see, they wanted to get the fee they wanted for Smalling, and they've gotten that. You want to do a deal for, let's say, Thalys, and you go to Thalys, they do this, you are bargaining. Initially, United will pay, but now they want to respect it. But it's too late for you to respect it now. Then you can't just use, because fans will be frustrated. Like everybody was expecting Sancho. I was expecting Sancho to come. I knew Sancho would come. But at the end of the day, if you think the money is too much, just back off. Then go and look for somebody else. Instead of wasting much time on one player, then everybody gets frustrated. Now the toxicity among the fan base has now gone up high because of everybody was expecting Sancho. Sancho doesn't come. He doesn't come. Then now everybody's annoyed. So I'm a little bit upset with how things were done. It's like in a rush. Let's say like so the Cavani deal. I don't know why, because Cavani, I think somewhere in January his agent said that if he's going to come to United, it means he's coming for money. And I think that time he was suggested to United, and I think it was Saha mentioned that we should go for Cavani, and somebody else, I think it was Rio Ferdinand, one of his tweets said that we should go for Cavani, but we didn't go for him.
I think Van Persie did mention it as well, but not to Man United. He just said it in general, like Cavani.
Yeah,
he was singing his praises.
You could have done the deal earlier and let him come and be there, and by now he will even be training with the team so they get him fit, because for almost 7 months Cavani hasn't really played football. So why you wait till 2 days to the end of the transfer window, then you get him?
Yeah, but Jem, who's to blame though for that? That's the question. Who's to blame? Because I know you always say to me, look, are the board on to blame? And you name individual people that are to blame or you think are to blame. Who are those people? Who? Because this is a shit show, isn't it? Let's be honest. You know, we kind of walking around eggshells.
But we know who's to blame. We all know who's to blame.
I want him to hear it.
The Glazers.
I want Jem to say it because he won't say it. Jem, go on, who's to blame?
He won't say it.
And that what's his name? Edward had the power, the mandate to authorize deals, but now he doesn't have that, so he has to go to the Glazers. They have to approve. So it's the Glazers and Edward himself. Then what's his name? Matt Judge, because he does the negotiation. I don't know his expertise in negotiation, because his negotiation sometimes it drags the whole deal. Then the fun of it drags the fun out of it. So I'll blame the Glazers and I'll blame Edward, because he's a CEO. So whether it goes up wrong or right, the blame lies on him.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I just wanted you to say it on record, so when we have this debate later on WhatsApp, I can click up and send it back to you. Because I've asked you the question so many times on WhatsApp, and you just skirted around it. Now I've got it on record, so we'd love to see it. Listen, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and please drop a like. Obviously, we're going to go through all the individual players and discuss, our thoughts on other players that we are linked to. If you haven't seen already, it looks like the Dembele deal is off. Of course, with the window, things can change drastically, but it looks like it's not going to happen. Robin, come to you as the person with the most information. Firstly, what are your thoughts regarding the Dembele situation? Were you happy with the deal, or are you happy it's off? Well, reportedly off, so to speak. What are your thoughts?
I didn't want Dembele. No chance. Right. I cover La Liga. I work on La Liga. I watch Barcelona for my job, and I've watched him absolutely tons since he signed from Dortmund. And yeah, he's got talent. He's not what we need. He wouldn't come into that front three and turn us into world beaters suddenly. We're talking about Sancho being an upgrade and what we need at Manchester United. Dembele on loan would have been the absolutely biggest reactionary deal that Manchester United have ever made. Yeah, he would have cost a fortune. He'd have been on really huge wages. And if they'd actually had to buy him as well, we might have been talking a Sancho price. You've got to remember what Barcelona paid for this boy. So he's got a big reputation, but he's not what United needed. And to tell you the absolute God's honest truth, he was never on United's list. It's only really in the last week that that's kind of come up as something, because Barcelona are trying to shop him. Barcelona are trying to get Depay in, and obviously the person to leave would be Dembele. And because Manchester United are the team with cash, they've gone to United and said, would you like this player? And United have missed out on Sancho and said, maybe. So I'm really pleased that deal didn't get executed. I think that would have been the worst possible deal. And the irony of it is that the 5 players we're about to talk about who have come in this transfer window, I think they're all really good signings. All 5 of them, every one of them. It just means that we didn't get Sancho, and that's the one that everyone wants, is the pop. Yeah. And he's the guy. We might have just signed Sancho and no one else, and everyone would have been happy tonight and gone, we got the generational talent. But he's also not the answer on his own. You know, he could come into that team. He doesn't make Harry Maguire quicker. He doesn't make Bailly better. He doesn't make Lindelof better. So you look at it, the 5 players that we've signed, and individually we'll look at their kind of traits and what they can bring. They're actually all really good signings. They all do something a little bit different. They add a little bit in each part of the park. So we've got 3 forwards in there, 1 midfielder and a defender, and they all do something different to what we already have in the team. So there's positives, but I know it's hard after a 6-1 defeat when everyone's still bleeding and hemorrhaging, that it's hard to kind of look at these things as positive. But they are good signings. It's just not a particularly interesting window for United fans to get excited about.
Yeah, no, Viking Reds completely agreed with you. He said Dembele is injury prone and we've dodged the bullet. For me personally, though, I only would have taken him on loan. As soon as I mentioned signing him permanently, I was like, and of course it's a desperate sign. I'll be desperate basically. That's the only reason I would have taken him on loan. Not because I ever wanted him. I just think he's injured all the time.
But he's also temperamental. If you brought him in on loan and he didn't want to be there, it would have been a nightmare. And he's done that at Barcelona, not turned up for training, not being sharp, looks kind of miserable half the time. When he's got his chances, he's not taking them. I think United, with the pressure that we put on our players, we kill our players. He'd have been dead after 2 weeks. He wouldn't want to have been there. So I think United have dodged a bullet. I think it's a really good example of what you can do when you're after a top player who doesn't really fit what you want.
He did the same thing at Dortmund as well. When he tried to get rid of Dortmund,
Definitely.
he went on strike straight
away. Sulking, yeah.
He
was like this.
He's someone that tries to do whatever he wants. Whatever he wants to get, he'll do his utmost to get it. So if he wasn't happy, he'll refuse to play. Which is what it is, man.
Jem, put headphones in because there's too much static from your mic. I'm just going to mute you for a second. Right, yeah, okay. So obviously regarding Dembele, I suppose I agree with what both of you said in terms of if his attitude isn't right, then obviously we don't want him, especially at the current stage. I'm going to pass it to you, Daniel, regarding Dembele. And also, Rob kind of mentioned Depay them, just to throw it out there. Is that someone that you would potentially take him back also? Obviously, Barcelona wanted to get him to replace Dembele to an extent. What are your thoughts on either of them players? Is he lagged out? I don't know if he's lagged out or not. Okay, I think he's lagged out. Coach, I'll pass it to you then. So obviously you've already touched on Dembele's shortly, but obviously added on Dembele, you're happy we didn't get that deal done, and also regarding Depay, any thoughts on him?
Yeah, the only reason I'm happy that we didn't get Dembele done is because I still do believe in his talent. I know about his temperamental attitude, but I do believe in his talent. But again, I called him a right wing buy. I'm not buying a player that's going to play 10 games and then not play for the rest of the season. And that's for Depay. To be honest, I've had that in the back of my mind for a long time, in the sense that he's gone to Lyon, he's become a better player, he's matured in his game. Is that worth a gamble? But that being said, at Lyon, he has never played right wing, so that's not a solution to the problem. He's played a striker or a left winger, so he's still not a right winger. So it doesn't solve the problem that we have. So even though it did cross the back of my mind, because I was thinking, all right, maybe he can learn the position, but that is not his position. Therefore, if he doesn't bang again, it's a waste of money on a player that didn't make it in the first place in his favoured position. So if he's going to go Barca, let him go Barca and do that. If he stays in Lyon, let him do his thing. It's good that he's developed and he's doing well, but maybe United's not the place for him. But it did cross my mind, absolutely.
Yeah, no, Wes, regarding the right wing position in general, for me personally, I was trying to work out who our proper last right winger is. I obviously, lads, let me know who you think it is. I'm thinking
Valencia, right?
Valencia, or maybe Nani, possibly. Valencia or Nani. I don't know.
Ronaldo.
Arguably, I suppose actually you played left wing, didn't you? Really. So I'm thinking Valencia or Nani. Jem, you're gonna have to mute your mic. It's way too loud. You're gonna have to get headphones, bro, if you can. Obviously, I'll even mute you when it comes to yourself. But so what the question I was gonna ask you was regarding the right wing position. How important was it for us to sign a right winger? Of course, it looks like we're not going to get a right winger now, which does mean Greenwood's potentially going to play 50 to 60 games at right wing, obviously given how far we go into the competitions. What was your thought on that situation?
Yeah, it's important because I talked about this a couple of podcasts ago about the fact that we're so imbalanced, where we're so left-sided and we don't have anything on the right. So that was the reason. There's no crosses coming in. There's nothing from the right. There's no one like stretching the play in any game or anything like, oh, can I have like some sort of link-up play, say with Wan-Bissaka? You know, there's obviously Greenwood. You can't expect that on Greenwood. He's a striker, so that's different. And Mata doesn't have the legs for that position anyway. So, and I mean, I wanted Sarr, really. I really wanted Sarr. Obviously, you wanted Sancho originally, but that ain't going to happen. Yeah. But I'd really take someone like Sarr because I think he's got potential. I've seen it at Watford. I mean, he's a bit of a rough diamond. You can obviously try polishing. Maybe, I don't know if Ollie's the man to polish that diamond, but I think he's got enough about him to take. You can take that punt on him. If you buy 30, 40 million, you can get a decent player there. He's quick. He's agile. He can deliver a ball. He can beat a man. What else do you want from a right winger? To be honest, we don't have any right winger, so anyone in there would make some sort of difference. But the only problem is that's not the priority now. We've got issues at centre back, CDM position. If you don't fix those, I'm talking about the spine of the team. If you don't fix the spine, your arms and legs can do what they want, but the spine is what helps you stand upright. Because you can't do shit. You can't do anything. So we've got too many issues. The centre-back thing has come out of nowhere. And we've got flipping centre-backs, left, right, centre. But the thing is, they don't. Some want to leave. Some need to get kicked out. And we've got
injured in 2 weeks, isn't he? So
we've got issues. We've got issues with why now. How do you drop an £18 million flop captain wannabe? How do you drop someone like that? No, it's true though. And now we were dropping Lindelof. Now, do you bring Lindelof back and drop? You can't do it. It's impossible, isn't it? It just looks stupid, whatever way you do it. I don't know what they're going to do. Is they going to revert back to Lindelof and Maguire? Bayer shouldn't get dropped. I don't know what's going on. They've got a problem. You can't really... The right wing thing was a cherry on the cake kind of business. Now we got issues. We got real issues in the centre of the pitch. So I don't know what's going on, man.
I personally don't agree with the last comment that you just made there regarding the right wing being the cherry on the cake. I don't think it was the cherry on the cake. For me personally, I think I might have said it in one of the podcasts. We needed a right wing in this window. We needed a centre back. We needed a CDM. They were the three positions. If someone was to say to me, if you could only sign 3 players, I would have signed Sancho, Partey, and I said,
yeah, that's originally what I was saying.
No, that's exactly what I said. You can go back to the video that I made way back in May or whenever it was. They're the 3 positions I said. I was consistent with that. We've signed none of them 3 positions.
You've got left back and a striker.
We signed a left back, which granted, and now in hindsight,
he's a good player.
What's can I just say one thing? He's just chirping in my ear. We signed a left back that we needed, and we do need a striker because, of course, the Gala is going to go, isn't it? So we do actually need those players. It turned out we needed more than we first initially said. But yeah, for me personally, the right wing is going to be an issue, isn't it, Rob? But Jem's got headphones actually. We'll try you, Jem. See how you're getting on with headphones. Jem, right wing position, bro. What are your thoughts, man? Because we've literally only got Martial. Sorry, not Martial. We've got Greenwood, Mata, and probably Lingard to play there for the whole season.
Lingard.
Well, who else is going to play there? You tell me. Give me a suggestion. Oh my God.
No. On the right wing, I would have.
Well, you tell me who's going to play there. I'm just suggesting people in the squad. There's nobody else.
Definitely, I think Greenwood might play there.
Yeah, Greenwood will. But what if Greenwood gets injured? Then what happens?
If he gets injured, we push somebody. Maybe the guy from Uruguay, but we push him there.
Oh my God.
He's 18. Most of us probably never seen him play.
It doesn't matter.
I know he's highly
talented. Greenwood's 18.
Greenwood is 18. He's playing.
We bought 2 right wingers today. You just must remember this. We bought Palestri today, and Traore will come in January. So they are addressing. It's just not the players we want. So they look at it with their scouting network that they've bought 2 right wingers today, and that for them solves the issue. So for us, it doesn't because we've never seen the player. We don't trust them.
Absolutely.
Pellistri, he's been on the radar for 6 months and they like him. So, we have to see him first, obviously. But Pellistri and Traore's absolutely a hot talent.
Traore does look like a talent.
Yeah, so if you bring those two players in and they could be your right wingers for the next 10 years. So United fans have to settle a little bit and say, who do we play them? Well, they have bought 2 right wingers today. We can't revise that and say they didn't do that. It just might not be the right wingers that we wanted.
Right, okay, to answer to that, just to put it short and sweet, and I'll pass it back to Jem. Jem's smiling like, yes, get it. Listen, for me personally, yeah, you're right. Actually, that is a good point. They're not the ones that I wanted. For me personally, we've missed an absolute trick on Sarr. He's not the glitz and the glam of the Sancho, because Sancho's, the star boy or whatever you want to call it. Sarr absolutely destroyed Liverpool in that 3-0 win. Absolutely ruined them on his own. Similar to what Sadio Mane did at Southampton. And shocked, they signed him, and look what happened to Mane. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Mane, but what I'm saying is he's got that raw talent that you can't defend against him sometimes. If you coach them properly, he's got the ability to be something. Especially he's Premier League proven. He was fantastic the whole season for Watford. It wasn't a one-off game. He was brilliant the whole season. You can speak to Watford fans. They'll tell you, even I saw an interview with Andre Gray that he was talking about Sarr in training. And he was like, I'm telling you, Sarr's going to be one of the best players in the world at some point. He's that good. And I genuinely believe in him. Like, for me personally, these 2 guys that you guys have mentioned, Rob, again, no disrespect to them. I'll back them. They're at our club now. But I know nothing about them. So I'm not going to sit here and get excited. I wish I'm wrong. And one of them's a wonder kid, and I would love to say yes.
You'll be wrong.
No, I would love to say I'm wrong. I don't want to be right. I want us to do the best. So I would love to be here in 5 months and Rob say, I told you, Usmaan, to have patience with these 2 kids.
Can I say something about Sarr as well? Can I just add something to that? Because I agree with you totally on Sarr. But United inquired about him yesterday. Yeah. The price is 45 million, and they've got 10 days to work that out because the championship window doesn't close for 10 days. Yeah. So this is not about today. And Man United might go back for Sarr if they decide that he's the guy that they want to develop. Now they know that Sancho is dead for a certain period of time. Yeah. If they're looking for an investment project that isn't 2 kids, and when I say kids, Sarr's obviously very young still himself. Yeah, Sarr could still come to United in 10 days' time before the championship window closes. That's why there's been no movement from the championship today to the Premier League, really. There's only been 1 signing. And Sarr is still very much on United's radar. So you might get your wish.
And one thing I can also add is United wanted to get Sarr today because of the Champions League, so that they can register him for Champions League.
Exactly.
So that's the whole issue.
Mm-hmm. And that's the downside of it. But United, United tonight, they're going to wait, aren't they? Because that's what they always do. They'll wait because they want to get 45 million. They're not going to pay that for Sarr. They want to pay 35 million. So they're always going to try and get a discount. And that's just they're wheeler dealers, and that's what they do. That's what the Glazers do. They don't go in with the big bid and say, right, let's take him so we can sign him up for the Champions League. Never happened. It's never happened. It's not ever going to happen.
So,
our next spend is 35 million.
Are you saying we're basically the club version of Harry Redknapp?
They are wheeler dealers. They've proved it. They look for the cheap version of what's on the market. They don't want to bring in the top player. When they do bring in the top player, there's normally a caveat. So if you bring in Alexis Sanchez, it's because you're giving him £500,000 a week, and it's like, you bring in Di Maria, and you've almost got to mug him from Madrid to make him come to the football club. Yeah. It doesn't really work like that with the Glazers. It's a consistent cycle that we've seen over and over again. You get Ibrahimovic, but you're getting the old Ibrahimovic. You're not getting the top level 28-year-old. Cavani is absolutely in that bracket in the sense that Cavani is a risk because of his age and because of his recent injury record.
Yeah, he's been injured a lot last year.
But I agree with what was said before. I think United need to bring in some experience. And we saw that against Tottenham, is that when the team was losing 2-1, you need someone on the pitch to go calm.
Relax. Exactly.
Calm. Yeah. And what we ended up seeing was a load of guys who couldn't handle the pressure at that point. And that's why we lost 6-1. It's not because they're the most worst skillful team in the world and they're terrible footballers. It's because up here they lost the game. Yeah. So they lost that. So someone like Cavani comes in and Cavani says, calm down. Yeah, let's get on with our jobs. And that's what United need. They need a little bit of, like, I know we're always wanting players who have got, big personalities and, they're going to bang their chest like Roy Keane. That's not always what you need. Sometimes you need a guy in the dressing room who says, shut up, forget it, and get back out on the pitch and do your job. Yeah. And United, I don't know if we've got those players. I think we've got players who can lead, but it's not a consensus across the board at the moment. So Cavani and Telles, Telles said something brilliant today, didn't he? He said, I'm coming here to fight. That was his words. I'm coming here to fight, and this is a brilliant opportunity. So I think that's good. I think they're two players that could have a very quick impact, and we might be sitting here in a few weeks' time going, oh, wow, they weren't the players we wanted, but they're doing the job.
I did want Telles, to be fair, because I've seen enough of him to think he could give us a different dynamic. Obviously, we'll touch upon that on tomorrow's podcast. But just to get some comments on, because I know obviously there's quite a few at the moment. If Sarr comes from Archie, does that mean Sancho does it next year? For me personally, yes.
That's what it means.
Sancho is not coming. That means Sancho is not. There's no chance of Sancho coming if we get Sarr, for me, unless Sarr has an absolute. If we hypothetically speak, we get him and he has an absolute mare. Which I personally don't think he will, because he's got enough talent. Anyways, I digress. Agalo didn't get any a good point here. Was will come to you, because I know Cavani thoughts. Agalo didn't get any crosses again from Archie, saying the worry with Cavani is he needs service out wide, which is definitely a valid point. What are your thoughts regarding the Cavani signing in general? Obviously, you've spoken to us on numerous occasions regarding it. What's your honest opinions regarding us getting Cavani?
I didn't want him. I mean, I didn't want him because he's injury prone. He's too old, and what do you call it? He's very expensive as well. Although I'm not paying his wages, but he's expensive. I don't know. I mean, looking from the outside, I don't know if he's like one of those. If he gets dropped and stuff, what's he going to react like? I'm not sure. Do you know what I mean? Personally,
he's got a good. He's got a good.
I wasn't happy. I know a lot of people are going to total opposite to me. I wasn't happy when Ibrahimovic came to United, especially at the age he came out. I know he made a good impact and everything, and he scored goals, but I think he hindered a lot of players' growth and performance, and he just too much of a personality as well. You don't want that as well. But I mean, listen to you guys, what you guys have said about Cavani and stuff. I mean, I can come round to that. Once he is in the United shirt, I'm going to back him in it. Obviously, he's a United player. I backed Agalo as well. I'm still backing Agalo.
You're going to buy him a fancy football whilst knowing you. You'll probably sell Martial that he's been red carded and get Cavani. And don't worry about
No way. I'm not that bad. No way.
God.
I'm going to put my bench. But no, I mean, experience-wise, we're lacking that. And Teller's 27-year-old. I mean, they're the kind of players you need that, innit? Maguire's not a flipping leader. Get the company off him. Need leadership. Another thing, this is a bit off topic, but I heard Bruno was substitute because
Rob said leave that for tomorrow's podcast.
All right,
completely off topic. We're not even going to go down that route. And I've already seen your tweets, Rob. So
fake news.
Yeah, as Donald Trump would say. Anyways, we got a comedy from Joe Neal. I did put the screen, but I'm going to read you out. Rob actually put me in a good mood, great passion and sense. A lot of people say that about you, Rob. Everyone
they call me the therapist at the moment. I find it a bit weird.
I've had a lot of people say that to me. I was like, all right, yeah. To be fair, that's why we didn't get you on after the game, because I wanted to be mad that we lost 6-1, and I was like, Rob's going to speak to his sense and calm me down. I didn't want to be calm after that game, to be fair. So I was like, no, I just leave it. But so Coach, obviously, before I pass it to you, there's one comment you made in there was I completely disagree with. You said you don't want something regarding about his character, and I think that is one of the worst comments I've ever heard.
I didn't say that, did I?
You said you don't want people like his character, like Ibrahimovic, had a sort of aura about them, like. I don't like arrogance in a play like that. Kind of. He's not arrogant at all, Cavani. Like he's he's very unselfish. If anything, he's very unselfish. What he's done for PSG, and he's been playing like when Zlatan was there, he was playing left wing.
I mean, like you said about.
He's like Rooney to an extent, in the sense the way he's just.
He's not egotistical. He's not an egotistical.
That's the word. That's the word. Egotistical. I mean, I don't like that. And Ibrahimovic was 100%.
Well, we've done talk about Ibra, but yeah, Cavani's not like Ibra. He's more like Rooney to me. Personally, from what I've seen, anyways. But Kojo, I know you are a massive fan of Cavani, as is Benji. So you can speak about both of you.
What's the Cavani?
El Matador. Kojo, what are your thoughts regarding the signing, man? Obviously, it means the Nigerian R9 is not going to be playing as much, which I'm a bit disappointed about. But yeah, how are you feeling?
You're going.
Aye, you called him Nigerian R9.
I've been saying that from day one.
I call him Little R9, but it is what it is.
It's a bit of an insult to Lidl. They're not going to sponsor us now. Sorry, Lidl. I apologize.
What are you guys?
Yeah. This is Usman channel. That was an independent saying. Yeah,
I'm joking, but sure.
I know. But no, I'm happy just because like you guys have alluded to the experience first. He's a winner. I don't think we have many winners, genuine actual winners in the squad right now.
Absolutely.
Even though we've had players that have won trophies, but not led it in the way. Whereas Cavani, whether he was playing right wing for PSG or as the main striker after Ibra left, the guy was smacking in goals and helping them win league titles. His goal scoring record is phenomenal. He knows how to find the back of the net. His best thing about him has always been his IQ and his movement. You never have to talk about speed or anything with 100%. Him. It's his intelligence on the football pitch. He knows how to lose his marker, especially now in the era of recovery defending. I feel like he will thrive in this league because this league's defending. I mean,
at the moment, it is absolutely shambolic.
Bro, at the moment, I've been screaming this since the Leicester winning season. I've got archives, man. But yeah, honestly, I'm happy with this signing. It's a 2-year deal as well. I know people complaining about age, but then I've seen people today complain about Partey going to Arsenal at 27 years old. So if the age of 27 and above is now taboo, then I don't know for football right now. So let him come in. He's 33 years old. He's a winner. He's won a lot. He has scored many goals. It's a 2-year deal. It's low risk. He's not coming from any club. And then hopefully he does the job. And he can add hopefully another 15 goals to our season. And if he doesn't, it's a free transfer. You haven't spent much on him apart from wages. So stop complaining, stop bitching, or get Igalo on the pitch then and see what happens. Because how many has he scored?
Igalo and Cavani up front.
I don't want to see that.
I'm looking forward to Cavani and Lingard link up. To be fair, their intelligence off the ball is beautiful.
That could be scary. That could actually be crazy. No,
people are laughing at me, right? I know, Rob, I'm going to bring it to you first because I know what you're going to say. But why? Because Lingard's intelligence with Cavani's intelligence, there could be a match made in heaven. Rob, what are your thoughts on that? Just to throw a curveball in there, so to speak.
I have no thoughts on that.
Well said.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm going to keep it serious now. But listen, Rob, what are your thoughts on Cavani and what he can offer to the other young lads in the team?
Yeah, Manchester United first approached Cavani about 6 or 7 weeks ago. So he's been on the list for a long time. They were looking at alternatives if the Sancho deal fell through. They didn't really go back in for Sancho over the last month. They did make a bid, but they didn't really sit at the table with Dortmund. So there was always this fear that the deal would fall through and that United would have to look at the secondary layer of players that they were looking for. Cavani was one of them. I think Cavani brings you an instant fix in the front three. So if you think that we've got 3 lads up top who are all relatively young, still obviously, as I said, Martial's not young, but the 3 of them are a young attack force. You now have a guy who's ultimately really experienced at the top level, 200 goals in his last 300 games. Yes, he's 33 going on 34. But sometimes you do need to bring in a veteran. In basketball, which is my other sport that I love, it's well known that if you've got a young team, you go shopping for veterans. Yeah, you go looking at that market. It's almost like a separate marketplace. And in football, we're a bit like that now. Now, like you said about Partey, people are kind of going tonight, 27, 45 million. Oh, he's so old. It's like, what? Idiots. So you can't really win with age because if you buy an 18-year-old, they're too young. And if you buy a 28-year-old, they're too old. So I think when you look at Cavani...
Rob, I'm 28. I still thought I had a chance, to sign.
You're done, though, mate. I'm sorry. You're cooked. It's not going to happen.
I'm finished. My legs have gone, Rob.
Director of football. You can be director of football. But when you look at it with Cavani, I think that he had this hip injury last year. We did a lot of work on this at work in my job to kind of see what his recovery was like, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great. He was out the team for a long time. And he needed extra time off. So my worry is that he comes to Manchester United as the guy with a hip injury. Now, if he is that guy, we might get 10 or 12 games out of him a season. And that will be the end of it. In 12 months' time, there is a break in his clause in his contract. And I believe that break clause is in there to kind of give you the Falcao effect. So if you need to get rid, you can get rid. I think it's also there that if they get Sancho in 12 months, and they want that 200 grand back a week, they can then give it to Sancho. But the other side of the coin is that Cavani might go, this is not great for me, and I'm off and I want to be at the MLS in a year's time, a bit like Ibrahimovic did in the end. And he says, I don't want to play at this level. Or the other side of the coin, being positive, is that you get Cavani who comes in, who scores you 15 to 20 goals this season, and we are all bowing down to him on our knees, saying this guy should have had the number 7 shirt 10 years ago. So he's going to wear the 7. I think that's not a great thing. I think it's kind of cursed. It's kind of cursed. Look what it did to Valencia. It kind of destroyed his career and everyone else that wore it. And I think that he's not the ultimate answer, but if you going back for Sancho next year, he's the answer for now. And I like the signing. I think the 5 guys that we brought coming in, I think all 5 of them will mesh. I think they'll work with what Ole's got. But Ole's obviously got to get a performance out of this team now, because if he doesn't, he'll lose his job in the next few months.
Yeah, Jem, let's come to another signing. He's spoken a lot about Cavani. I've got to be honest, Cavani is one of the players that I'm actually excited to watch. I'm a bit disappointed that he's going to be rushed into the team by the looks of it, because, of course, Martial's got a red card. I don't know where Cavani's fitness is going to be at. It looks like he's going to have to play against Newcastle, depending on if Ole changes the system, which we'll touch on tomorrow. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Alex Telles, another player that's very exciting? As Rob has alluded to, we have signed a couple of decent players in there. Of course, we're not needing to mention Van de Beek too much today. What are your thoughts on Telles? He's done fantastic for Porto, and he offers something completely different to show, doesn't he? Really?
Yeah, he does. And you can see that from what I've watched. I think I watched his last game where he missed a penalty, and somebody told me he was forcing the right move so that.
He said, "Well, don't worry if you got Bruno for penalties. Don't worry about it."
But he's good, like attacking wise. Like when I watched his interview, he tried to describe the way he is. He's somebody who like from set pieces. He's able to attack like he should. He can cross as well. He crosses better than what's his name? Luke Shaw offers us. And as you have something like a Cavani, like a target man, you can if he whips in the cross and he can get Cavani, we can get a lot of goals out of it. You see, in our team, we don't normally score a lot with our heads. Normally, it's like this short passes and just. But if you get somebody like him, you can maybe whip in the crosses so that Cavani can just into the net. It should be fine.
He's gunman. Everybody's a gunman.
He's the gunman. I always like gunmen, because I think since after Van Nistelrooy and Robin van Persie, we've not had a typical gunman. So if you have somebody like Cavani, I was so excited. When it's a good deal.
I've asked you about Telles.
Oh, Telles, man!
I asked you about Telles and you're talking about Cavani. I just continue Cavani, man. Continue. When you keep talking about Cavani, I completely forgot. I'm not gonna lie, because I was just so enjoying what you're saying.
Yeah, Telles has a lot. Like he can attack, and defensively is not that good, but I think he's better. He just provide a lot of. He can give us assist, and also he's not like what's his name, Robinson, but at least he can give something similar to what Robinson does. He's a good crosser of the ball, and he can also build our attack well, because I read something about him, like individually he's also somebody who can create chances for us. Luke Shaw doesn't create chances for us. Look at that silly tackle he made yesterday. Oli was really annoyed.
A lot of people said it was a silly tackle, but what else was he meant to do in that situation? They were literally through on goal. You had to take him out, and if it's 6-1 down, it's going to be 7. I don't know why people are making such a big deal out of the tackle. It was rash. Don't get me wrong. Probably red card.
Terrible.
It was a terrible tackle. Don't get me wrong. But it was they would have scored 7. It's a red card, but like they would have scored the 7th goal. What else? What other choice did he have? Really, like it's just a one square ball to Kane, and he's bagged a hat-trick against us. Do you know what I mean?
United just announced that they have an agreement with Atlanta. For Traore.
Yeah. Coach, we'll come to you, mate. Telles, obviously, you've always been a massive fan of Luke Shaw. Coach, bro, talk to me about Telles. What's your initial sort of feelings? Obviously, as Rob's already alluded to in terms of his interview, he spoke the way you'd want a new sign to speak. But obviously, words are cheap. We've seen a half-life team apologize for that result. do I really care about what they're going to say? Let's see what they're going to do on the pitch. But yeah, what are your thoughts regarding Telles? Do you think he potentially could have a good link up with Cavani, and obviously Rashford in particular was going to be on that side?
Yeah, I think it's good for the whole front three, whether that be Martial back in or Cavani in the middle with Greenwood obviously, or Pelestri if it is him, and obviously Marcus. And what he provides is a lot more consistency going forward from that left side. Like we said on this pod before, United are so left-sided when they're attacking going forward.
Absolutely.
Because Wan-Bissaka isn't good going forward, and we don't have a right winger that provides that extra bit of something on the right side. So you need someone on that left side to provide something special that gives you, even if you're lacking balance, you still got a talent that can at least whip balls in or find the right runs. And even Papa with the occasional goal, because his goal scoring record isn't bad as well. Most of them do tend to be penalties, but he's got a good left foot that he can hit. Which is great, we win penalties, so come to the club and win more. But that's what he provides. Now, defensively, he is better than Shaw, but it's not that big a gap. Honestly, it is like this. I'm going to be very honest. So if everyone else thinks he's going to be like a big upgrade defensively on Shaw, that's not the case whatsoever. But going forward, that's what we needed in terms of, because we're so left-sided, we need someone with a bit more creativity inside him, someone a bit more efficient, finding balls in and making the runs directly down the left, whether it's to byline or maybe cutting inside every now and then. So I'm happy with the signing. I'm not going to say I'm like overly gassed, but I am happy. And I want him to now settle. Let's not think he's going to be 5 games in and he's going to be better than Robertson and Tierney and this guy and that guy, like fans like to do. Because you know what? If he comes to the first game and he gets 2 assists, we've got the best left back in the league. Take time. Let's let him settle properly, get into his.
Well, he hasn't got time to settle in. Have you seen our fixtures? We've got Newcastle, then we've got Chelsea, PSG, Arsenal, RB Leipzig, and then
I'm not going to rush him in.
We've got crazy games. We've got crazy games coming up, but regardless, I'm still not going to put that much pressure on him because.
I'm not. What I'm saying is going to be difficult for him.
Oh yeah, but Everton's first game was Man City. I know it's not the same. It's not the Man City of today, but it's still a derby, so that's high pressure stakes. You know what I mean? And he stank. So if he comes in instincts, I'm not going to be completely upset. I'm going to be all right, let him do his thing, and then eventually, hopefully, we get the best of Telles, which I think will happen. So I'm happy. Yeah, bring him in and let him do his thing.
Yeah, Rob. Obviously, I know you need to shoot off. If you just want to give your thoughts on Telles, and obviously we'll touch upon the rating, etc.
Yeah, I think with Telles, I think the player that's going to benefit the most by a country mile is Marcus Rashford. So the reason for that is at the moment, when you look at the overlap and you look at what Luke Shaw does, Marcus Rashford starts way too close to the left wing for being a left-sided forward. So he kind of plays as a winger. Now, we know Rash doesn't cross the ball either, so it's pointless. So I think tactically, Telles is a guy who makes his own chance in terms of the cross. So he's going to be effectively a left winger in that position. He'll beat his man and he'll cross the ball. And I think the first time you guys see him cross a ball, you're going to fall over and feel like you've seen the left-sided Messiah. Because he can cross the ball. And Man United haven't had a player that can cross the ball for years and years, 10 years going forward back. We've not had anyone because we've not bought wingers for a long time. So he comes in and fixes that and he allows Rashford to go and play in the box. So that's, I think, the biggest thing for Man United in terms of the balance. And I think with Luke Shaw, there is a difference in the fact I think Luke Shaw is a better defender than Telles. There's no doubt about that. People might say he isn't. But Shaw is much more aware of what's going on inside him than I think Telles will be. Telles will be more like Alonso at Chelsea. He's going this way, and whatever's going on behind him, he's not massively interested in. He'll go back and he'll cover and he'll do the left back job. But that might be where fans get a bit frustrated with him. But his output will be crazy. I think he'll get 10 assists this season from the top. That's what he does. He assists, he gets those numbers. I don't think he'll score loads of goals because he does take penalties, and that inflates his goal numbers. But he can score. But he is a bit like Alonso. He'll pick up the odd goal there. He'll get assists. Talk about Alonso, obviously at Chelsea, and he'll give United some upside going forward. He's not the perfect left back for United, but he's different to Shaw enough for you to say, right now we've got 2 players that do a bit of everything, and Ole's can choose. Because he's not had any choice, has he? Ever. We've not really had a left back that he can just drop into the team that you could say is maybe ready at the top level. And Telles is on the upside. He's just got in the Brazil team for the first time. His stock's been rising over the last 12 months. he's a really good player for that price that they got him at. And that's why they haggled, because at 15 million, 15.4 it was in the end, 15.4 million for a left-sided attacker who is also a defender and can be a wing back and can actually join the front three and do all those things. He's a really, really smart buy. And he was their first choice at left back. They didn't want Reguilon. I said this on your show a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Reguilon wasn't in the picture because of the deal with Real Madrid. And their number one left-sided fullback at that point was Telles, and they've been doing that for 6 to 8 weeks. So they finally got it over the line today. Surprisingly, United, it's you expect failure from the Glazers, and they got that one done.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think regarding the crossing, it's going to be like, what on earth's happening? The strikers might actually go into the box now. I think we might have a chance of scoring ahead. The last proper cross that we put in was when Wan-Bissaka crossed it for Martial against Chelsea, where he actually scored that header, which was ridiculous. But apart from that, I can't actually think of a goal that we scored from an actual genuine cross, like from it as an header. But regarding his output, I think he's going to be a perfect left wing back. We will touch upon the system tomorrow's podcast, but for me personally, we've got to utilise him as a left wing back. I think at the moment, given the way the defence is, put Luke Shaw left centre back, put Tellers left wing back, and took the two guys in front, and then just get balls into the box. Obviously, not just do that, but we can play little triangles on the wing now. So he has the capabilities to go forward, and that is, like you already mentioned, similar to Alonso. It's his natural instinct, as I've always talked about, is to get forward first. And it's similar to a goal scorer, when they say you have a knack of scoring goals, or as a goal scorer, you're in the right place at the right time. It's because your instinct allows you to suss out where the danger is, so to speak. And he has that as well in terms of offering that on the wing. So for me personally, he's actually a really good signing. I think he's going to change us a lot. We've been lacking creativity from other departments, especially the wide areas. So it gives the opposition another thing to think about. We're not so one-dimensional with having someone like that can actually offer something. So for me personally, I think he's a bigger importance that people are assuming. But hopefully we'll see what happens. Okay, going to talk about Smalling. Obviously, Rob, I know you need to shoot off at some point. Obviously, I thought it was now.
Yeah, I got to go, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much for your time.
Catch you on the next one.
No worries, man, Rob. Absolute legend, as always. Laz, I just want to touch upon some outgoings, obviously, and then we'll do a sort of rating for the window, which is going to be fun. Outgoings. Smalling, I believe, has finally gone. Of course, Delo has gone on loan. Delo, actually, a lot of people are upset about that one, which is interesting. I know Coach probably is a bit more upset than me. Whilst we'll come to you first, you obviously can touch upon both of them. Smalling has signed for Rome, if I'm not mistaken, unless the fax machine's broken down or something again. What are your thoughts firstly on Smalling going to Roma? Do you think that's the right thing for us? Obviously, he kind of rejected us, to be fair, from what I've read, so it's a bit embarrassing, but it is what it is. Yeah,
definitely the right thing, man. I mean, it feels like he's been gone for a while. It's not that much of a loss because he hasn't played for us for ages, it seems like.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a loss. I think he's left at the right time. We kind of cashed in on him.
Yeah.
His heart wasn't at Man United anymore, so you don't want to play like that. He's a good player. But I'm happy that he's gone, actually moved on. I'm happy for him as a person as well. He seems like a good guy as well. So yeah. And what is it, Delo? You
can touch upon Delo as well.
Delo is a weird one because we bought him when he was injured as well. I know it's a Mourinho signing. There was hints where, especially going forward, and I thought, oh my God, he's got a good cross. So this is why I don't want to get too excited by Telles, because I don't want, although Delo was a lot younger, I don't want to get too excited by Telles because Delo, when he first came in, he had a couple of step overs, a bit trickery about him. He can deliver a ball and stuff like that. But it just didn't work out for the guy, man. Every time there was a point where he was going to kick on, he got injured. And that was the bad thing. And he was misused by even Mourinho, who actually bought him. I think he was misused by even Solskjaer as well. So you didn't see the best of Delo. But then again,
isn't it? So
yeah, I know, but I think there'll be a permanent after that. I think he'll do well wherever he goes. He's young, and he's going to do well. But
go on. Sorry.
You're going. What? He's not coming.
No, because I can't tell when you're wrapping up and all. You just got Then you go,
I'm thinking, and I'm
I
thinking.
decided, are you going to wrap up? Are you going to say you
I
finish what you're
just
saying?
it's Jem's fault because he gave me that gunman comment. He just keeps it coming in my head now.
Right, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Joe,
he's not a gun.
what's his happy with both outgoings there? What are your thoughts, bro? I don't know if this. Obviously, we need to touch upon Romero. I know a lot of people have been commenting it on the chat as well, so we'll build it after these two. Kojo, what are your thoughts before Was interrupts us again?
No, Smalling had to go. He didn't want to be here. We didn't really want him here. So I even thought it was a farce that we gave him a contract extension a year and a half ago. I thought that was a complete joke. It was almost out the door alongside Young and what's the other guy's name? Philip. So yeah, I think it's the right thing for all parties to move on. No problem with that. To be fair to him, I think it was actually a good 7 for United. He wasn't a shocking defender. He was actually quite good most of the time. Just, he has to move on. Dallo annoys me simply because of the fact, number one, Timothy Fosu-Mensah is still here and he is not. And he is not better. I mean, Fosu-Mensah is not better than Dallo, so that for me is not even a discussion. Shout out Benji for that one, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say Benji is going to be wherever he is. He's going to be shouting.
Yeah, I've added him so he can hear that loud and clear. But no, more importantly, what you said about him not being treated properly, I agree with. Is about you want a player to develop, he needs more game time. That's the first thing. I know he's had his injury issues here and there, but he hasn't been injured for like 6-7 months. He's been injured a couple of weeks at a time, so you can bring him back into the fold. And a few times he's played for us, PSG, he played really well for United. And absolutely. A couple cup games. The last one I can remember was the Tranmere 5-0
when he scored that banger as well. Yeah, that
exactly. I know it's Tranmere. Yeah, I know it's Tranmere, but he scored and he did really well in that game as well. And against Brighton in the cup, yes, defensively he was a bit shaky, but on the ball he was really good. And everyone's so obsessed with breaking the lines and that he was doing that from his right back position. Finding Van der Beek constantly in the centre of the pitch, and then also providing the threat going forward down the right, something that we've been screaming for since Antonio Valencia. Yeah. And we spent on a right back who is obviously good defensively but doesn't offer that. So it annoys me that he is gone on loan to AC Milan. Now, I know it's not a loan to buy, which makes me happy. Hopefully he can go there, develop, get better, and then come back a new player. But also part of me thinks that when we do loan out players who have been here for a while, they don't tend to make the trade. They tend to just go. The only one that's really made it is Lingard. That's the only one. And that's because Alex Ferguson said that he's going to develop from 26, which is scary when you think about it. Like, apart from that, not many people make it, and that hurts me a little bit because I feel like he's going to go away somewhere else and be better. So, I am upset about that, but I just hope he becomes a better player, and he can come back and play for United. And if it's not, then I'll keep an eye on him anyway. He's one of my favourites. So yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah, no. Regarding the Smalling one, I completely agree with. Regarding the Delo one, I completely agree with it as well. Actually, I think it's a good loan move for him personally. Regarding Timothy Fosu-Mensah, I don't think anyone wants him, to be honest. That's why he's still here. Similar to Phil Jones, similar to Rojo. I don't think it's a matter of, let's keep Fosu-Mensah and get rid of Delo because Fosu-Mensah is better. It's like we've got rid of Smalling and kept Jones and Rojo because literally nobody wants them. They're shit. Regarding Delo, he had to go out on loan, actually, so I do disagree with that. Reason being is because now we signed Tellez, that means Williams is obviously going to get moved over to the right side.
Will he though?
Right. Well, that's
what I'm scared of. That's what I'm scared of.
If he doesn't get moved over, then I haven't got a clue what's going on because he's going to be playing on someone's lap then. So he's going to have to sit on someone's lap then, isn't it? But yeah, for me personally, I think Williams is perfect to have as a utility fullback. You can play right or left, preferably right for me. If we are to go to 5 at the back, you could potentially put Williams in the right wing back position. You might flourish. I suppose you could say the same for Delo. But obviously Williams is playing more games for the team. He's kept fit for longer. So I think that's why Ollie's probably trusted him more. Jem, we'll pass it to you. What are your thoughts of them two outgoings? Smalling and, of course, Delo.
Smalling, like everybody's, like Kojo said, I think it's time for him to go. Because I remember the last time when they gave him the renewal, I was really annoyed because I said, this guy is aging and he's been here for quite a while. So, like people complain, like Harry Maguire or Lindelof, they are not good. But we've all seen Smalling. It's not like we've not seen Smalling play. So I think it was a good move for him when he went to Rome. It also helped him. And you can see that he did very well there. And I don't know why Roma was also playing hard game. I think they should have sealed this deal. I was at the point I was afraid because I think the Italian officials were trying to inspect if the documents everything was right, and I felt like maybe the deal might not go on for him. So it's good for him to go. And on Dello, it's somehow disappointing for me because when we bought him, we bought an injured player in the first place for 90 million euros, which I thought was too much for him because he had hardly played in the Porto team, the first team. Then he comes injured. Then it's frustrating because, like Kwejo said, the PSG game, and some games he played, you could see that the talent is there, but his injury too keeps on reoccurring. And after that Premier game, I think he got injured again. He was injured, I think, before the Corona. Then he got better again. I don't know why he wasn't. I think maybe his head was not straight. Because I read something from the Athletic about how Oli wants him to behave. Like he's not aggressive enough, and also when he's not selected to play, his demeanor and attitude changes. He only thinks that if you're not picked, it's like it should motivate you so that your training everything indicates that you want to be chosen or be picked. But he wasn't doing that, so that's why. And I think the loan will help him. In Italy is not that it's not pacey as the Premiership is, so it will really help him and he will develop. And I'm happy that we didn't include a buyout clause. An option to buy. It's just a loan that we can get our player because they wanted Tifosu Mensah. It was Tifosu Mensah. I think Roma wanted Diallo and Tifosu Mensah, but
one of them wanted Tifosu. I think it was Roma actually.
Roma wanted Tim. But I don't know. I think Tim's contract ends next month. It ends next year.
Hold on. Wait. He was wanted.
Yeah, Roma.
And he's still here.
I think something happened to the
something
happened.
Something happened.
I think Benji broke the fax machine or something.
Because Roma, I think Roma wanted him or
Diallo, with the Smalling deal, I think it was.
But I think they were more interested in Diallo, but the offer they gave wasn't good for United. Then United,
I really want to curse in my language right now, but I'm trying to keep.
No, but he's a countryman, He's a countryman. But the thing is, his contract ends next summer. He's free to go. By January, he's free to sign with anybody. He's a free agent. And on Rojo, I think. That guy, in January, his contract will end in summer. So January, he might go for free. That's what the Estudiantes are waiting for.
Thank God.
Honestly, I would send him on a year-long trip holiday to Argentina. Let him enjoy life there. I don't want to see him. I know he was there, and they brought him back. Send him back again, man.
If you're a serious player, you like somebody like Pereira. He's now going.
I forgot about Pereira. I've not even mentioned him. I literally forgot about his existence.
He's going to Lazio because he was.
Forget Pereira. I'm not talking about him.
He was Pereira. But see, somebody like today, I don't know if I'm going to talk about Romero's wife. You see, Romero, you are in Manchester. You take almost 75,000 or 100K. Then Aston Villa comes for you. Manchester wants 8 million. It's a fair deal, but your wages are too much. So just reduce your wages. So that they buy you. You don't reduce it. But see, they pay 60 million for Martinez. And I'm not sure Martinez is going to take 50, maybe he might take 50K.
Martinez is way better anyway.
He's way better than him. Way better. So you should have just reduced. Now your wife is coming. When I saw, I said, then somebody wrote, I think
is it loan move to Everton? So I didn't see it, but is it a loan that
I don't think he's going to Everton. They've gone for the Roma goalkeeper also.
Everton
So I don't think he's going.
Roman goalkeeper because maybe
she put that post up because Everton wanted Romero.
Yeah.
Was it a loan that they wanted him, or was it a sell?
I think they wanted a sale or something. A loan.
If it's a loan, I don't see why we didn't do it. The only thing I can think of is we see Everton as our competitors this season, and we don't want to help them. That's the only thing I can think of.
We did the same.
Why are you keeping 3 goalkeepers? One's on 110 grand. Romero's on, like you said, 80 grand or whatever it may be. De's on 350 grand. That's what almost 700 to 600k worth of wages on goalkeepers. Well, Romero's not going to play. I'm going to play the same amount of games with Romero. We've got a Grant there who's not played since like God knows how long. Like he's just up doing their shampoo deals and shit.
So Grant, why did Moreno sign him?
I don't know what's going off. Like, we've got so many goalkeepers. We've got Pereira.
There's another young one as well.
Is it
Joe
Pereira?
Pereira as well.
Joe Pereira.
No, he's gone. He's gone on loan. He's on the bench.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying, we've still got him. He's still out. Is like, how many goalkeepers? They've got 5
There's another
goalkeepers.
youngster we
Like,
bought.
we can have 5 at the back with the flipping. They could play 5 side them lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's outfield players. This is too many. Like, Romero for me. Regarding what his wife said, right? For those of you that don't know, basically, she's saying he's been a loyal servant to the club. You know, why have you not allowed him to go and play first team football? Jem, you make a good point. If you want to play first team football, should have went Aston Villa. That's a very good point. I completely agree with that. However, I've got to say, he's been a model professional at the club. He's never complained. He's never caused any issues whatsoever. He's done his job. He's been fantastic for us when he's come in. The club an absolute joke. At the end of the day, why is he in the squad for? He's not going to play. He's not going to play a single game. It's highly likely that both the goalkeepers can get injured. Very unlikely. And I believe when Henderson did play in the League Cup against Brighton, Romero wasn't even on the bench. It was Grant.
He's home. He was home.
Exactly.
He's not coming for training.
He's getting paid 80 grand to go and be a goalkeeper trainer. Like, he just trains, that's it, a week. So, yeah, for me personally, it's just an absolute joke. Sorry, someone's put a comment here. Is it Arsenal fan? Sorry, boys, I think we are keeping Star. I'm assuming it's a Watford fan, but is that not an Arsenal player?
No, that's not.
No,
That's a kid playing PlayStation.
Sorry, I'll just look at the photo, okay? Yeah, it is. All right, my bad here. I thought it was like Guendouzi or David Luiz or someone. So I don't know if you think that was a compliment or not. But yeah, so I'm assuming a Watford fan. Yeah, we're not getting Star. We already touched upon the start of the show. Right, lads, I'm going to finish off with the rating for the window, okay? So this includes outgoings, this includes ingoings, signings. Right, who wants to go first? Who wants to give a rating? Why should we start with you actually first? Because you're probably the guy that get influenced the most by someone else's thoughts. So I want you to give your honest opinions. What's out of 10? What are you giving this window?
Can you just run past the signings we've actually made? I know we've got Telles, Cavani,
Van der Beek, and the 2 lads on the right wing. The guys put no Gibraltar kit. Okay, fair enough. Good for you, mate. Fair play to you, mate. Gibraltar different. Anyways, what? Yeah, so we got Van der Beek, Cavani, Telles, and the 2 right wingers. Ahmad Traore, is that his name? And the other kid's name from the Uruguay. I'm not even going to dare pronounce what he said. So yeah, they're the five signings that we've gone for. And obviously we've got rid of Smalley, Delo, Pereira. I don't know. There must be more, but I can't think off the top of my head. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say a 5.
Okay.
Because none of the players I actually wanted. I mean, I'm happy with Telles, and obviously Van der Beek, but they're not my original first choice of players I wanted. So 5 in the middle somewhere. Innit? Happy those players are coming, but that's about it. I'm not overjoyed.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Right, Kojo, what you saying? What are you going for?
I'll give it a 6. If I go past the whole, I go 6. I think if I go past the whole Sancho disappointment, to be fair, Van der Beek is a very good signing, despite the fact he's not starting. Fucking hell, but it's a good signing. Telles is a good signing. You're not happy with Cavani. I do know a bit about Pelestri. I know he's a good talent. I'm not happy about it. I just think we need someone more experienced in that position, but fair dues. But I can't go higher than 6 because as good as, or potentially good as Ahmad Traore could be, he's not coming until January. So he's not playing right now. So 6, I think, is fine. Yeah.
Okay, Jem, what are your thoughts? What are you going for?
I'll also go for a 6. Because like everybody has said, they are good players, all right, but we left it very late. That's my only issue. And our main target, who was Sancho, that everybody wanted, we couldn't get. So I'll just give it a 6.
Right, okay. So I've gone for a 4. The reason being, I'll explain, don't worry, I can go into the detail here. The reason it's a 4, Jem, one of the reasons you said, we've done 2 deals on the last day of the window. We played how many games? 5 games? Cavani and Telles should have been available for those games come the start of the season. Telles, 15.3 million is all we paid for him. Why couldn't we have done that 3 months ago? You're telling me, Rob was on the show, obviously, in case he's just joining us now. He said we were interested in for 8 weeks. Why couldn't we have paid 15.3 million 8 weeks ago. You know, what the fuck is 15.3 million to this club? It's absolute peanuts. We could have sold Smalling 8 weeks ago as well. They've wanted him as soon as he left. After his last game, when he got into the changing room, had a shower, got his bag, got in the car to get to the airport, Romo was like, can we get Smalling back? That's how long ago they really wanted him. We pissed about with the Smalling deal. We should have sold him ages ago. We should have bought Tellez in. He should have played all of the games so far. If not, at least the last flipping 2. So that is one of the reasons they're taking the absolute piss signing the players. Second one, Cavani. I'm happy with Cavani. Again, he's been free for God knows how long. How long has man been free for? Ages. He's bloody free agent. It's not like we had to bloody and it's a piss easy deal. We've done it in 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever it is. We've done it in again. Man should have been on the bench. Aguero's not even been on the bench for the last 2 games. At least if a Cavani gets subbed on, something might happen. Like them two, I'm not disputing them as signings, good signings, but should have been done ages ago. Right, Van de Beek, very good player. Not even going to say anything. Bargain, fantastic business. Did we actually execute any sort of transfer strategy? Fucking no, we didn't. We got given him for free. Yeah, his deal brought down with Real Madrid, and Van der Sar boxed the offer us. So that's got nothing to do with our board. So I'm not giving him any points for Van de Beek. Regarding the 3 players I wanted, and I had Jem on, I had Kojo on, I had Was on, I had Benji on. Everybody said at least 2 of these 3 positions: right wing, CDM, centre back. Everyone said 2 of them 3. There was a one person when I said which 4 players that we want. Everybody said right wing, everybody said CDM, and people said left back. Benji and some of the other lads said left back because they're not right sure. I think me and Jem said no, if I'm not mistaken. We said we do like sure, and we went that bothered, but obviously he's deteriorated. And then the other one was centre back. There was 4 positions. Everyone said how many of them 4 we fucking signed? 1. The 2 guys that we signed at right wing, one's coming in January. The other guy is 18 years old. He is not going to fucking deal with the pressure of Man United at 18, nor should he have to deal with the pressure. And people are going to say, well, Sancho's 19, 20. Sancho's playing at the highest level. International and at the Champions League, and he's met people in Champions League stage. Completely different kettle of fish. They're not even in the same bracket. It's like fucking saying Mbappe is the same age as him. Well, Mbappe's won a bloody World Cup. It doesn't matter. It depends on what you've experienced. And the age doesn't mean shit. It's about experience. This kid is not coming to the first team. It's as simple as that. No should he. So, basically, we had to sign Partey, potentially. We should have went for Upamecano or Alaba if you're not going to get Sancho, because we paid 90 million bid for Sancho. Alaba is potentially, okay, I'm not saying he's for sale, but what I'm saying is if you put 60 million down for him, Bayern are not going to say no. If you put 60 million down for Upamecano, RB Leipzig aren't going to say no. Showed no fucking ambition by the board. 4, they're looking to get 4. I was thinking about 3, but because I got Tellez and Cavani, I thought I'll bump you up. Right, I'm going to pass it back to you guys before I finish off. Does anyone disagree with what I've said? Kojo.
All of it.
Cavani, number 7. Cavani,
Sorry, I forgot one thing. Glazers get the fuck out, and Woodward gets out as well.
I just think Cavani, number 7.
Oh my God. Cavani saved us with the lockers.
Wait, Jem, do you think Usman's a gunman?
Yeah,
Usman's a gunman.
I do love Cavani celebration, so I'm gassed by him and Tellez. But look, come on, man. They should have been playing against Brighton and these, man. Like, what are they doing? Right. Anyways, that is my thoughts. Let us know what you think. I don't know if I should pass them to anyone to have a say, but I feel like
subscribe.
That's perfect.
Subscribe. Massive love to obviously everyone here. The links aren't in the description because I'll be honest, I didn't know who was going to come on. So Jem, give yourself a shout out, bro. So where can people find you on your socials and whatnot?
Oh, on Twitter, you can find me on.
What's your Twitter? Jem?
Bob Jem.
Okay, right. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the description. I will edit the video. I'm not gonna do your with Jem. Don't worry. I'm gonna put that links in the description. Don't worry. Obviously, I'm not going currently, so don't go. Where the hell are they? And obviously, you know who Kojo is, but if in case you don't, for whatever reason, Kojo, where can they find you, bro?
You can find me on Free Midfield Podcast, all on the socials, including YouTube. You can find me on Footy Says, including YouTube as well, and Twitter. And you can find me on All for United here and there. But more importantly, you can find me right here. Right here.
Yes. We love to see it. But yeah, listen, obviously Rob's link or Rob's is _Rob_B. You can check him out on Twitter. And then obviously I will put Daniel's in because I don't know off the top of my head. Although he disconnected within the 5-10 seconds or so. But anyways, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It's been your boy Usmaan in a bait. Deadline day special. I don't know if anyone else is